Hi, my name is Corey Minter. I'm president of Trinity Employment Specialists. Trinity, we are a staffing organization. We're located in Tulsa, and we also do work in Oklahoma City. We have staff in Texas and in Arkansas and in Kansas. So we have become a little bit more regional, but a majority of a lot of our business comes from the Oklahoma City and Tulsa markets. We staff primarily in the medical field, everything in the medical field, and also in accounting, finance, and banking. Trinity, we were in Inc. magazine in September as one of America's fastest growing companies, and we've also been one of Tulsa's top 40 fastest growing companies for I don't know how many years now. And it's because we've grown more of a grassroots effort. It's more like this. And it's all this way. If you do a good job for someone, they might tell one or two people. You do a bad job, they'll tell 20. And it's like that for every business. It's not just ours. And so that's how we've grown. That's how we've been able to have the success that we've been able to have. So I'd like to talk to you just real quickly about something that every business person is going to run into at some point in time, and that is hiring friends. Good grief almighty. If you get big enough as a company, I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. You're going to have and oftentimes it's a friend of a friend. So you've got like a best friend and they know someone that would just be perfect for your organization. And your best friend comes and tells you this and you go through the interview. And if you hire them and it doesn't go very well, and they're really close friends, I'm telling you, it can be a negative thing. So I want to talk to you about some of the standards and some of the guidelines that I put in place for our organization, and we'll see if this doesn't help you as well, because I have a feeling that anybody that might be listening to this, there's a possibility that they've had these things happen, or they might have it happen currently. So the first thing is I always try to let everybody know that it doesn't matter what they're being hired for or what the situation is. We want to put friendship first. Friendship goes first all the time, and I'm a complete different individual. You'll find most of the most successful companies, they are going to tell you the exact opposite, and that is business first, friendship second. I'm just a different kind of guy. I operate off of if I do the right things over time and I multiply it by God, it equals me an unstoppable momentum. So multiplying it by God means we're just going to do the right things no matter what, even when it costs us a little bit of money. And so far that's worked out extremely well for our organization. But when I hire friends, I get really, or friends of friends is really how it happens. I get really direct, and I let them know exactly what I'm going to expect from them. I get very, very clear about the definitions of what equals success and what equals failure. And I don't want to manage with emotion in any way, because when it's a friend involved, you want to be nice to that person. But I'm telling you, when you like someone so well as a business owner, you will waste hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm not kidding you, that's really true. And I'm saying that because I've done it. I'm telling you, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in my early years because I liked someone and I didn't want to hurt their feelings. And so I allowed them, or I tolerated not necessarily bad behavior, but I tolerated bad performance for way too long. And I'm telling you, you are in risk of doing this unless you set up parameters. So first thing is have a clear definition of what equals success, what equals failure. Second thing is make sure that those definitions are measured by numbers. So especially if someone is, in our business, we have a recruiting role, and then we also have a sales role. Those are the two key positions. Of course, we have accounting and receptionist, and then employing onboarding employee person. We have all these different people, but the core positions that I'm responsible for that you can be measured with by numbers, and those are, you need to set up the number of recruits that they have. For me, I'm just giving you an example. I need our recruiters to make X amount of placements a week and have X amount of hours underneath their belt for me to justify their salary. I let them know exactly where our break-even point is as it is relative to their salary. And I tell them, when you do this much work, then we are losing this much money. I let them know where our break-even point is. And when they know that, it helps them to understand that if they have a pattern of 4 or 5 months where Trinity's losing money every month that they're employed, they start realizing that that's not sustainable. But I'm extremely transparent with the numbers there. And when the numbers don't make sense, there's an internal drive in them that says, oh, good grief, it doesn't make sense that Trinity's employing me right now because I'm not even paying for my salary, much less making them money. So I go over those numbers with them every week. In fact, I go over it twice a week with them, exactly where they're at, so they know. And I let them know after a certain number of weeks, I let them know that if performance doesn't improve to this amount, and it's a numbers thing, well then Trinity has no choice, but we have to end the relationship. We don't want to, but we have to for business purposes. And so you take the emotion out of it when you use a numerical system at which to measure someone with. And that is what if you don't do that already, one, you should do that because it's just a great accounting principle. But I really want to encourage you to do that with anyone that you bring in that either is a friend or a friend of a friend. That way you have complete justification for it. You're always running into a battle there, a battle of the minds when you really like someone. I've done it. A lot of other business people have done it. You're not alone. It's just, these are some of the things that I've learned after I've done it and lost, like I said, hundreds of thousands of dollars before. This is the last thing here, and I'll share with you a real similar situation of good and bad that just happened here. But when we bring somebody into our team, they literally become a family to us. So for me, this is a very normal occurrence because I become friends with literally everyone that's on my staff. We're a tight-knit group of people. Everyone enjoys working there. And everyone that I've had to terminate, everyone loves and still stays in touch with today. In fact, I'm still a mentor to 2 of the individuals that I've literally had to terminate. So here's how I do that. A lot of people aren't going to put the effort into doing this, and I get it, but I'm just telling you what I do. I make an effort to go get them a job somewhere else. And in these cases, I went and found them a job somewhere else where they're actually a really great fit. I call all my friends. I'm pretty well connected in this community, and I call them and hook them up. And I find another place where I've been managing them for enough of a time that I know what they would be good at. And so I go find people who might have jobs in this area, and I really genuinely try to find another job for them. And I let them know that that's exactly what I'm doing. But I've been very clear in conversations letting them know that they're not working out, so I begin the process of trying to find them something else. In this case, I've done this twice, but I want to give you an example of someone who, in just 1 minute here, because I need to wrap this up, someone that I thought I was going to need to terminate. And I really, really like this girl a lot. And they just weren't cutting it at all. And they were not responding. But I went and did one last hoorah to present the numerical system for them. And I presented it to her and I said, listen, this equals success, and you have the opportunity to stay here if you want, but to stay here, you have to do this. And I can't, I can't say it any other way, but you need to make the decision where if you want to be here, well, then that's great. And if not, I'm gonna go and help you find something else for yourself. I had this conversation. Man, I'm telling you, this girl has torn it up and broken records. I can't even believe it myself. But it was because of the transparency. Listen, I'm so glad that I was transparent. I want you to know that's the only time that's ever happened to me where somebody's completely flipped it around. But it is possible. So being transparent and kind, but really direct, will let people know exactly where you stand, why you're having to make the decisions that you're having to make, and it'll put a human aspect to it. And they'll either rise to the occasion or they won't. And when they don't, when you help them to try to find something else, it's generally a good separation. Listen, Trinity's had some bad separations before, but this can be a good thing if you manage it right. Hope this helped you, though. If Trinity can help you in your staffing needs in your organization, we'd love to talk with you. So I really would like for you to give me a call at 918-622-2588, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com. Thank you so much.